live across Michiana. This is ABC 57 News.
A 17-year-old boy found dead in an alley in Benton Harbor will bring you what we know so far. And new details tonight in a deadly shooting in South Bend. Plus, we compare this year's numbers of homicides to those past. One woman is in the hospital after being hit by a car in Warsaw. We'll break down what police say happened. And we'll recap what's going on with the lead issues in Benton Harbor's water, find out where you can get bottled water and baby formula if you need it. Welcome to ABC 57 News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Richard Bodie. We'll get to all those stories here in a minute, but we start tonight with breaking news out of Berrien County. Multiple sources are confirming to ABC 57 that both interim Berrien County Health Officer Courtney Davis and Health Department spokesperson Jillian Conrad have resigned from their positions at the Berrien County Health Department. This comes just weeks after Elkhart County Health Officer Bethany Waite announced she would resign at the end of the year due to pandemic stress. She also told us that she was getting death threats over mask mandates and vaccines. We have not received any comment yet from either Davis or Conrad or the Berrien County Health Department. And developing tonight, a teen is dead after a shooting in Benton Harbor. Take a look at this map behind me. It happened here in an alley near the intersection of Parker and Colfax. Multiple sources tell us the victim, a 17-year-old boy, may have been shot in the head. His body was found sometime this morning on a basketball court in the alley after police conducted a welfare check. The victim's name not being released. We're still working to get more information from the Benton Harbor Department. Yesterday, we've learned the name of that victim, 30-year-old Sasha Agnew. Police were called to the 800 block of South Lake Street around Friday at 3 o'clock. Police say Agnew was shot and died at the scene. South Bend police are handling the investigation. Right now, there are no suspects or arrests at this time. Police say if you have any information, call the Detective Bureau. That number on your screen, 574-235-8790. And so far this year, there have been 15 homicides in South Bend. According to the city's Transparency Hub, 2020 saw 23 fatal shootings. In 2019, that number was 11. And in 2018, there were 9 fatal shootings for the year. A 26-year-old woman is in the hospital after being hit by a truck around 12:25 this morning on East Old Road 30 near the Eastgate Apartments. Witnesses say they saw the truck take off at a high rate of speed heading east. Officers say they're looking for a white Ford F-250 or F-350 made between 2011 and 2016. The truck will have some damage on the front passenger side. The woman suffered injuries to her back and pelvis. If you know anything or saw anything, call the Warsaw Police Department at 574-372-9511. Well, it's officially been 9 days since Benton Harbor City officials announced that they would be handing out bottled water because of high lead levels in the tap water. Back in September, the lead levels were found to have exceeded action levels. The city originally had a 5-year timeline to get the water system fixed, but Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced an expedited plan of 18 months. You can get water and baby formula tomorrow at the Fairplain Presbyterian Church from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and at the Abundant Light Church of God from 3 to 6 p.m. Well, after a decade of sitting vacant, a Benton Harbor church gets a makeover, becoming a community center for youth. The church, which was bought for just $1, had its ribbon-cutting ceremony this morning, and it's the 155th anniversary of when it was originally built.
Our family's been involved here, obviously a ton of friends over the years. The oldest church, really, in the community. Needs a little help, and hopefully it's going to get that, but it's got a lot of love.
The newly formed Legacy Group will run the community center with the hope of helping young people succeed.
Here we're starting with a live look at Benton Harbor Community Center will be housed. And again, this is a perfect evening for us here in Michiana as we're talking dry weather. It might be a little chilly out there as some folks have probably noticed, with those temperatures in the 50s, and it's going to keep staying cold as we head into your Sunday. We're looking at satellite imagery here this evening, though, showing you the lasting cloud cover that we're getting. This is kind of lake effect cloud cover. You can see these developing over the lake and pulling to the southeast, and you can thank this cloud cover for keeping temperatures in the 40s tonight. If we didn't have any cloud cover here in Michiana tonight, we'd likely be talking about low temperatures in the 30s for some tomorrow morning. Fortunately, it's not looking like it'll be the case. I think we'll stay just above that. Most places low to mid 40s throughout southern and central Michiana, and some lower 50s up along the Lake Michigan shoreline. Those cold temperatures going to turn into the mid 60s tomorrow afternoon, so you're going to want the coat to start the day, and then you can transition to the jacket as we get into the afternoon. Wind's also going to be a little bit breezy out there, so feel like temperatures likely going to stay a couple degrees cooler. By lunchtime, upper 50s, daytime highs again into the mid 60s. We're going to talk more about the winds and those temperatures that we look to deal with as we head through the rest of the weekend and into the work week coming up in a little bit, along with when you can expect rain showers to return to the forecast for us here in Michiana.
All right, looking forward to that, John. Thanks. For the second time in 2 weeks, Governor Gretchen Whitmer recently vetoed 2 election bills. One of the bills would have established a timeline for the states. The other bill would have changed the process of canceling the registrations of dead voters. In her veto letter, Whitmer says 2 bills would divert resources from the Secretary of State's office and local clerks that they need to conduct fair elections. And Vibrant Communities is working to improve neighborhoods in Elkhart and Goshen. The Vibrant Neighborhood Project is offering grants of up to $500 for neighborhood projects. In total, the organization plans to fund 20 neighborhood projects. That's according to our reporting partners at the Elkhart Truth. The goal is to beautify the community through social engagement. And the FDA has approved booster shots of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So if you're over the age of 18 and it's been at least 2 months since you were first vaccinated with the J&J shot, you're eligible for the booster. Studies show that getting the booster at 2 or 6 months can bring the effectiveness of the vaccine up to 94%.
It will increase efficacy against severe disease. It will increase efficacy against all symptomatic COVID, and it will increase the breadth of the immune response against variants.
According to the CDC, more than 9 million people have received a booster shot, which is about 5% of people who are fully vaccinated. Well, there are more Hoosiers getting a booster shot than those who are getting the first dose of the vaccine. The Indiana Health Department says over the past 3 weeks, 60% of all new shots were boosters, but Indiana's vaccination rate is still the lowest it's been since vaccines became available last winter. And today is National Move Over Day to bring awareness to move over laws for emergency vehicles. Indiana was actually the first state to have a move over law in 1999. The Indiana State Police said this to ABC 57 about how grateful they are for move over laws, saying, quote, "We put our trust in the thousands of you that drive past us and slow down or move over while we work along the side of roads, highways, and interstates. Most of you do the right thing. We all thank you, and so do our families." Well, the 23rd annual Michiana Chili Cook-Off is tomorrow at Martin's in Heritage Square from noon to 4. The event will raise money for the AFC South Bend Chefs and Cooks Association and the Food Bank of Northern Indiana. Tickets cost $10 for adults and $5 for kids. Well, a Michiana event is raising money for Resale to the Rescue. We'll break down how coming up. Plus, an assistant to the House Sergeant at Arms has been charged with child pornography charges.
More breezy conditions on the way for your Sunday and more dry weather as well. We'll be breaking that all down coming up here after the commercial break.
Well, new tonight, a beer festival in South Bend raises money to support local charities. ABC 57's Jordan Hadfield was there. He spoke to organizers and attendees who all just wanted to get some beer for a good cause, right, Jordan?
Yeah, Rich, a crowd of about 200 people came out when I was there at Michiana's Festival of Beer. It started as an event in 2019, but last year organizers had to cancel. And today people were eager to raise some money and see what local breweries had to offer. It's an event many had marked on their calendar.
Well, I'm here to try some beer.
But it's more than just the rush to your taste buds. It's also a chance to support local charities. In the past, $25,000 has been raised. This year aims to support Resale to the Rescue, a charity that helps local animal organizations.
We are beyond overwhelmed, but very heartfelt, thankful for all the people who are coming out today.
And local breweries, from bigger outfits like Bare Hands and Brew Works to home brews, set up stands for fans of the craft to sample. This festival is offering cider, meads, and of course, beer.
I do like local breweries. I like IPAs and things like that, so I wanted to come out here and try some good homemade beer.
Event organizers say hosting is a lot of work.
It's daunting, I'm not gonna lie, it's like planning for a wedding. It's not always easy, but...
Coronavirus.
South Bend and the surrounding areas are coming together, bringing people to be able to see the ins and outs really of kind of how the business works and how distilleries actually do the process that they do and what makes the good beer that I enjoy drinking.
Organizers estimate between $10,000 and $15,000 were raised for Resale to the Rescue, and organizers hope that that with the festival's continued success, it may become an annual event. Live in studio, Jordan Hatfield, ABC 57 News.
Well, it would have been a good day to be out enjoying any local festivals. It was a little breezy out there today. Our winds picked up into the teens. We had some gusts into the lower 20s. We're going to keep that in play for tomorrow. Luckily this evening, though, winds have died down a little bit, mainly out of the west. Still some pretty strong winds up into Berrien and northern LaPorte County, still into the teens. So as we look at the breakdown of winds for your Sunday, starting light during the morning, picking up into the teens by the afternoon, isolated wind gusts going to be topping out into that 20, maybe 25 mile per hour range. But as we get through tomorrow into Monday, we start to see overall those winds subsiding. But with the winds, the sunshine in play, what are high temperatures looking like for tomorrow afternoon? Well, a little warmer than what we had today. I would still recommend the jacket for tomorrow afternoon as we see highs throughout Michiana, low to mid 60s. Still going to be a beautiful day to get outdoors, enjoy that sunshine, maybe fire up the grill or have a little campfire tomorrow evening. Spend some time with friends and family. Great way to wrap up the weekend there. But the big story will be temperatures heading into the week. And I want to point your attention to average high for this time of year. Our average high is 61 degrees. Now, as we think back over the past week to 2 weeks, we've been hitting high temperatures in the 80s. So how cold it felt today, that's actually normal of what we're supposed to be dealing with this time of year. It's just that transition from 80s to 60s that make that 60-degree temperature feel a lot cooler than what it is. But luckily, we're going to stay a little bit closer to normal for most of the next several days here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday going to be about the warmest days we see for a while into the lower 70s. That's still 10 degrees above average. Finally, a little closer to the average as we get into Thursday. But Thursday, we're tracking yet again another cold front to move into Michiana. That's going to drop those high temperatures back into the upper 50s and lower 60s. Finally talking below average temperatures for what it seems to be the first time here this fall. So something we're watching closely. To go with those high temperatures, we're talking low temperatures in the 40s. So some very chilly mornings for us here ahead in Michiana. Thursday is going to be about that warmest as we build some of that cloud cover in, but then dropping things back into the mid to upper 40s to start those days as we get into next weekend. So putting it all together as we look at temperatures, cloud cover, we're talking lots of sunshine Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a great period of time for farmers to get out in the fields, get those crops harvested. I know there's still quite a bit of corn out there that needs to be harvested, so hopefully farmers can take advantage of that before that cold front moves in on Thursday, bringing us those rain chances. We're going to keep that cloud cover into next weekend, but keeping it mostly dry for now. And again, as you see those highs in the low to mid 60s.
All right, thanks, John. Well, half the Chicago police officers could be off the streets because of the deadline to the city's vaccine mandate. The police union doesn't agree with Mayor Lori Lightfoot's requirement, and the FOP's president told officers not to disclose their vaccine status. But Mayor Lightfoot says police officers need to comply with her order or risk being fired.
Notion that as they choose and pick and choose, we're not having that. And if that's the police department they want to be in, they should walk to another police department.
The mayor has downplayed concerns, saying she thinks most police officers and city workers will comply with the requirements. And an assistant U.S. House Sergeant at Arms has been arrested on child pornography charges. According to police, 41-year-old Stephen Barrett allegedly owned a Dropbox account with images of child sexual abuse. He was arrested on Wednesday at his Virginia home. According to court records, Barrett is facing 10 felony counts related to possession of child pornography. Texas authorities have identified 3 deputies shot in an ambush at a nightclub in Houston early this morning. Deputy Kareem Atkins died while deputies Daryl Garrett and Jakeem Barthon were injured. Investigators say they were responding to a disturbance when they were shot from behind with an AR-15. Though a suspect was initially arrested, authorities do not believe that person is the shooter.
We hope to have a suspect in custody soon, and I hope for swift and quick justice for that individual because he ambushed my deputies.
The Harris County Sheriff's Department thinks the gunman is a man in his early 20s who's still at large. All 3 deputies were from the same precinct. And we want to give you a warning about what we're about to show you here. It's a video that you may find disturbing. Take a look at this, though. A train collides with a semi carrying cars in Oklahoma. The crash caused 4 passengers on the train to be taken to the hospital for injuries. The driver of the semi was okay. Supply chain issues continue to leave store shelves empty and prices on the rise. We'll have those details coming up for you shortly.
Jerry! He wants to talk about Jerry! He wants to talk about Jerry! Jerry!
Now I know what I've been looking for all these years. Myself. I've been waiting for me to come along. Me! We're like children. We're not men. Come on, Elaine!
No!
Elaine!
No!
But I don't want to be a pirate. I don't want to be a cowboy. I don't want to be Switzerland. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Seinfeld, weeknights at 10:30 on CW25.
Well, on Consumer Alert, millions of Americans have a different viewpoint on work than they did before the pandemic. Experts are saying there's a mental shift happening for all ages, especially millennials, as nearly double the millennials and nearly as many Generation Zers are looking for a job than baby boomers.
A lot of them are quitting their jobs and moving to something that suits them better. So they're looking for things like flexibility and higher pay, and they're using this record demand as leverage. So this is happening at a time when the labor force is smaller. There is a labor shortage.
Experts are saying the hardest thing is finding talent, as more employees are now prefer flexible hours and remote work. And shoppers are looking at challenges across the country to fill their holiday wish lists, as backlogs in ports in Southern California and the shortage of truck drivers is causing issues for retailers.
Consumers all across the country continue to face rising prices and empty shelves amid supply chain disruptions. About 40% of all U.S. imports come through Southern California's ports. But right now, ships filled with cargo containers are sitting off the coast of Los Angeles and Long Beach.
Getting things from ships onto trucks onto full freight to half freight, those transition points are where we are seeing gaps.
The cost of shipping a container from China to the U.S. skyrocketing from roughly $1,300 to more than $16,000, and it's taking nearly twice as long. What once took 41 days to arrive, now taking 75 days. A shortage of truck drivers is also complicating supply issues.
The trucking industry, a lot of them have sought other opportunities in other sectors.
The American Trucking Association estimates prior to the pandemic, the industry was short 60,000 drivers. That number has only increased with retirements and not being able to train new drivers because trucking schools have closed. Some larger retailers are chartering their own ships now, but small businesses could be hit hard.
It's very strange for us not being able to call up and ask for something and get it in a couple of days. It's very frustrating, and it's out of the norm.
Earlier this week, President Biden announcing steps to fix the backlog, including having ports work around the clock and urging companies to work together. FedEx and UPS both increasing their operations.
Their commitment to go all in on 24/7 operations means that businesses of all sizes will get their goods on shelves faster and more reliably.
Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
Well, it was a busy weekend in space as NASA launched a new rocket and a new discovery on one of Jupiter's moons. We'll give you those details coming up.
ABC 57 News, first to warn when severe weather strikes.
Air since about 1:30, and this is just the beginning.
live when you need it most.
There is a strong wind threat. We want you inside, away from windows.
The ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Team, tracking the storm, minute by minute, all night, overnight, and in the morning.
A lot of lightning, a lot of rain, reports of damage, power lines down.
That's the difference. That's ABC 57 News. Tune in to Friday Night Football, brought to you in part by Jet's Pizza in Mishawaka and Elkhart. Don't miss your chance to get the Monday Night Special, a delicious one-topping Detroit-style pizza for just $9.99. Order online. We deliver. Jet's Pizza. Better because it has to be.
The family that drays together stays together.
You keep me strong. I keep you strong? That's just what you say.
Blackish. Weekdays at 4 on CW25.
Well, trending tonight, the first NASA mission to study asteroids near Jupiter blasted off earlier this morning. The Lucy spacecraft launched at 5:34 a.m. from Cape Canaveral in Florida. Lucy will be traveling for the next 12 years to explore Jupiter's Trojan asteroid swarms. This is the first flyby mission by NASA to look at the Trojan asteroids. And scientists have found evidence of water vapor on Europa. That's also one of Jupiter's moons. NASA says with Hubble's Space Telescope, it observed the presence of persistent water vapor over large areas of Europa's atmosphere. Researchers used Hubble's ultraviolet imaging to make the discovery. The interior has a global ocean with more water found on the Earth and could possibly...
If you missed your 10-day forecast, we're going to have another look at that coming up here after the break, talking about some beautiful fall weather as we head into your next work week.
The queen of court TV is back.
You are a thief that won't.
The People's Court.
All you gotta do is pony up the proof.
The People's Court. Weekdays at 9 on CW25.
This fall, court is back in session. Judge Jerry.
Weekdays at 1 on CW25.
We're taking another look at your 10-day forecast here for us here in Michiana. We're talking mid-60-degree temperatures throughout Michiana tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies. We're going to keep that sunshine into the work week as well. So get outdoors and take advantage of this nice weather that we're talking about. Get highs in the lower 70s. Cold front moves in on Thursday. That's going to keep dropping those temperatures. Talking highs in the upper 50s for Friday. Scattered showers possible on Thursday.
All right, thanks for joining us on ABC 57 News at 10. I'm Richard Bodie.
And I'm John Hammersmith.
Have a great night. We'll be back at 11.
I'm doing a set tonight. You hanging out?